There you go.
Awesome sauce recording in progress. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Natan Verhosky, your host with the most. I have with me the incredible Bill Walters, and you are here at the Prosperous Business Owners Forum. This is Thrive in 2025. Here, it's a beautiful roundtable discussion. It's a symposium, it's a mastermind, it's a gathering of intelligentsia to share ideas and best practices, and to hear from the master himself, where he's going to be sharing some strategies, ways that he's worked with his clients to help them grow without the burnout, keep more of what they earn, and future proof their profits. So this is one of those no fluff type places where we're not here to present and there's a slideshow and and a webinar ahead of you. This is a place where you can feel comfortable and safe. You can ask whatever questions you have that are burning inside, and make sure that you know that you can, obviously meet with Bill one-on-one to get a private, non-recorded 60,000 foot conversation. That would be brilliant. So for today, if you don't know Bill, his background is about as big as his heart. And decades in the financial field, focusing in on helping other owners get to a place where they're covering and not just recovering, and that they're making sure that they're protected and covered for the future, for themselves, for their families, for their employees, making sure that they're not paying too much taxes, making sure they're not going out and doing it in the wrong way. And he personally himself has an incredible story and an incredible family that he's developed something very unique for. I'm going to let him share it because it's beautiful when he does. Bill, put some meat on the bones for us.
So when you enter into a business, you enter it in for a purpose to create something that you excel in. And most business owners fail to do the most important thing, which is to create an exit strategy and or a roadmap to leave on your terms instead of on someone else's terms. And so when we establish this game plan of exit strategy, we teach business owners how to pull out from that their blood and sweat equity, as well as leave a nest egg for themselves in retirement and have the ability to also sell their business. So we go into the big stir and mixing pot. We'll call it the Great Chocolate Taste Off, and we put a sprinkle of honey in, and we put some vanilla in, and we put some cocoa nuts, and we're creating this mixture that's tasty, but it's tasty to your taste. So I use this analogy because I just came back from Mexico and I saw chocolate made live in front of me, and it was quite delicious. And I'm not a big fan of chocolate, but I like their chocolate. So um, beyond that, I've been practicing this for a lot of years. But my focus is on helping others and meeting them where they are in their road of life. So if there's questions, concerns, answers, or if you have, I got a problem, or I need help in, or do you know somebody, we are more than happy to refer you from our group of friends. This is all about love, kindness, and manifesting prosperity.
That's beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, did you want to have a core topic, or did we want to go around and ask if anyone had any burning questions or topics that they wanted covered? Anyone? You can do it by hand. You can go off the cuff. You can put it in the chat. Anything that you guys wanted to hear tonight. Bill's an amazing magician. He does requests, so
Yes, not with rabbits, but with other things.
All right, since no one else is talking, I'll chime in. We had this talk a couple of months ago on this specific forum, and we talked about gold. And gold has gone up about $500 since then.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? Is it still going higher? Would we be buying more? I mean, I bought some back then. I bought in 1 ounce bar, and I bought some 1/10 of an ounce Krugerrands because I saw them for sale, and I was like, hey, I remember that from Lethal Weapon. I want some Krugerrands in my safe. Um, so I'm up several $100s. I'm not selling, but would you buy more at this level, or would you just hold on? Or
So I'm going to give you a gold nugget right from the start, right? There's a better way of doing it than that way. And I'll share it with you privately. But I think gold is way underpriced. I think gold is going to shoot up, eventually popping out around $9,000 an ounce. Okay. Now, I'm not saying in the next 6 months,
Sure,
but
sure.
but that's not really the big gainer in this. Okay. It's the one that's really undervalued that you're going to get your money's worth is in silver. And if you go back to when we became decentralized from having our money backed by gold, the ratio of gold to silver was at about a 16-to-1 ratio. And I think it's going to be a 24-to-1 ratio in the future. So if you look at silver right now, it fluctuates between 32 and $34 an ounce. But you know, in these things, my gut instinct is that silver is way undervalued. And right now, silver should be worth probably $90 an ounce, and it's nowhere near that. So that's where the gain's going to be in the future. So just letting you know.
And I know that you talked about buying silver or gold in coins and not the bars, correct?
Correct. And that's what I want to talk to you about because I have a great source for that that's very inexpensive and it's certified as true and you get to hold it in your possession as opposed to a spot that's in Utah or Colorado. I'm not a fan of not having it in your pocket slash in your mattress in
Oh,
your
no, no.
wall. Yeah.
I have a couple of silver coins, the Krugerrands and the silver bar, excuse me, the gold bar are in my safe at home. It's
Yep.
physical in my hands.
Right. That's 100% accurate. Yep. And that
I,
should only be 5% of what you have. Like in your wealth, it should be no more than 5%.
I'm way below 5%.
Right.
I bought a few kilos in England when it was 19 an ounce. So
And are they in a kilo bar or is it futures?
they're huge coins. They're
Right.
kookaburras.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hold on to that.
yeah. I just
Not,
didn't want to didn't want to leave my money in paper notes because even though we know what's going on with fiat currency with the dollar, the UK is no different. So I transferred quite a bit of my cash into kookaburras. And I also went long on gold on a trade in a long time ago. It was 352 an ounce at the time. But unfortunately, I went long on the day. It had its biggest single one-day drop in history. So my timing's not very good.
I understand. I mean, it you know, memory is that it's still undervalued. We're still, meaning the United States is bringing over a plane load a day in from wherever it's getting it and putting it in various sports. So that just tells me that we're going to be gold back and when they have their stockpile built up. So that's all. I see the flight manifest, so I know what's on them. Anyway, I
Bill,
know
a
there was a yeah.
question for you if I can. So obviously to purchase some of these things and as a business owner, what are some of the things that we could be doing or incorporating into our businesses or other things or to make more profits? I mean, what do you suggest looking at? Because we have to have a healthy business to have a game plan, right? So
Yes and no. Even if your business is losing money, there's ways to pull it out. Um, one such way is to look at your cash flow and figure out what you can afford to pull out in blood and sweat equity, even though if you're losing money. And I'm not saying that, Seth, that you're losing money, right? I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that you got to pay yourself every day. And so in retrospect, what I recommend is that you figure out what that looks like. For you, it might be 1% of every bill, where you set aside that into a separate savings and holding, and then you accumulate that. And then we can have a conversation about your options, so that you can A, lower your taxes, and B, save for the future and build up that nest egg, where you can grow something between 10 and 17% annually for you when you walk away. When you're setting up a game plan for you, we would need to know a clear-cut date for exit strategies so that we can reduce your costs, and show a higher profit margin and maybe grow your business, because at the same time, I am familiar with carrying senior services as far as that world, and do have ways that I can suggest for you to grow your constituency, okay, and help you. And I would not be charging you for that. I just have friends that do that business, and I've known them since high school, played in a little league with them, and so I understand their business and that structure, and would be happy to share those things with you when it's just you and I meeting, just because it'll be about you and getting you organized.
Oh, thank you for that.
No problem. As far as a game plan for exiting, you don't look old. So, is it a long-term game plan, or is it, are you gonna leave it to children or a significant other so you can? Is that something that's in your thought process?
I haven't really decided, but I think, one thing is going into it as part of your overall business plan. You should have an exit strategy, whether that changes or not. And I agree, it depends on where you're leaving, who you're leaving, how you're set up and structured, and other things. But you should have some kind of a plan, and you can always change that plan, right? Like, I'm reviewing all my personal things now related to everything. But that plan could change because of unforeseen circumstances, right? So at least I know that I'm headed in a direction that I can pivot pretty quickly. It's the prep and setting everything up that needs to be taken care of, and have a plan. Because without a plan, you're just in crisis, right? And then it's day by day.
100%. If you don't have a roadmap for success, and success is defined by your standards of what success is, then the roadmap to access high profitability / abundance can't be met. And so if we work with you on abundance mindset and not being allergic to money and looking at money as a positive thing, and I sounds weird coming from somebody that's talking finance, right? But the problem's always in between here, and clearing your head and being open to that. And when you heal your mind, body, and soul of negativity, and you just put positive thoughts into it, the positive results, the attracting profitable opportunities come in, and you don't know where they're coming in from, and you're not saying no to options. So, and we could walk you through step-by-step processes on this. I would advise you to get on my calendar, a complimentary consultation, but it'll get you focused on like a 3-step process for exit strategies, as well as looking ahead to what those dreams are, so we can solve for the missing delta. Okay, that missing delta is really important in your line of work. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I just, on another note, I'm helping someone in a startup in your line of work, but they're based in Maryland, and they're coming up, and I've met with them 5 times, and I've changed their pricing structure, increased their profitability by 40%, and found them a steady stream of clients that's coming in 2 to 3 a week. So, and I did this complimentary. So I was able to help them get on the right road, and they're very grateful.
And then you'll be hearing from me.
Not a problem.
Who I'd be foolish to say no, right?
Right. Yep. It's just creating good,
I
good
mean,
feel and vibes.
yeah.
Was there a question way back in the chat,
I saw
Natan?
something from Shauna, I think. Shauna, did you write something? No, I thought I saw something. Someone wrote something long.
I think everyone's putting contact information in the chat.
Okay.
So if you haven't already done so, please do. I've got Bill's in there for you. That way you can grab a one-on-one with him. I've got mine in there as well.
So does anyone else have a specific question or?
No, cool. Well then,
Okay.
Bill, take us away. Give us some strategy and some tips, and we'll see if that opens up the discussion. And maybe then, that reminds me. Here's what I wanted to know.
Has anyone looked into ways of lowering their expenses? Has anybody looked at this? I'm going to say the 6-letter word that no one likes, budget. Has anybody looked at the 6-letter word budget of operating their business? And is it the correct budget? Is the amount you're spending on marketing the right percentage? Or is it what you feel like? Has everybody looked at reducing their costs without sacrificing quality? Has anybody even
Yeah,
thought of those things?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I look at it all the time. I mean, line by line, event by event, dollar by dollar, and one is our time is our biggest resource. So I look where we spend our time. Are we getting what we need out of it, hitting our certain metrics? Doing an event, what did we get out of that event? Was it a direct client? Was it maybe it's down the road 3 clients? So we're tracking everything and knowing what the industry budgets, what they spend, what we spend. I benchmark myself against other offices as well because we're part of a franchise system. So I really upped my game on the profitability and understanding of budgets and spending, and not just to spend. So run a pretty good lean ship and put the money where it needs to go. Yeah.
Okay. Has anybody ever looked into the strategy of looking at their cell phone and going through their cell phone 1 letter a day and calling the people and letting them know the venture that you're in and saying, hey, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we haven't chatted in a while. This is what I'm doing now, right? And I'm really excited about it. Who do you know that would find value in what I do? It's a great question. Like, who do you know will find value in what I do? That's where your lead sources are going to come from short term because they already know you. I don't know if they like and trust you yet, but that's one way of getting lead sources from within inside your phone, which is going to grow your business. And people take it for granted, but most people are willing to help you. You, a lot of times they're willing to help you because it gives them that good feeling, right? But ultimately, they're going to know what's in it for them. And then that's when you need, or everyone should have an idea of, well, how do you make that other person feel good? Is it through compensation, like per lead that turns into a customer number, which is a lot better money spent than marketing because it's guaranteeing you a return on your investment. And these are just simple ideas that work. It's industry agnostic, right? Uh, so, as a business owner, A, yes, lowering your expenses, B, having a control over marketing and getting a return, but C, where are the clients coming from? And the easiest way to start is from your phone. So it's just another idea or a nugget that works. Um, Now, if that's not jogging any memories, as business owners, you either have 1099 people or you have employees. Um, what I've found through my interactions, especially in the Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New York markets, is the number 2 concern for them is the rising cost of healthcare. That's the number 2 concern, and whether they can afford to offer that to their employees or even give them an option to the 1099 people. And there are ways to save people money on healthcare, especially in those states. New Jersey is not deregulated yet, so therefore the politicians haven't been paid off yet enough by the insurance people in order to get the people that are in here yet. So I'm not afraid to say that on a recorded line because I know it's the truth. So when their pockets are lined properly, the stuff will pass. So as long as I'm not doing it, it's okay. So if there's a pain point like insurance, like health insurance, if there's a pain point of how to maintain good employees and things like that, or if there's a pain point of how to lower your expenses, then speak up in this forum so we could work together and give you some type of solution. This is almost like what I would call an upper level room mastermind because we have a very eclectic group here. Okay, that you may or may not know. Everyone brings a different skill set to this group. So, Natan, is there anything specific that you think I should go to next, or how would you like me to move forward?
Well, we talked about the fun stuff like gold, and that's always neat because whatever's on topic is what's on people's minds. So it's wonderful.
Right.
If we're looking at your three, well, you got 4 big things as any owner that we care about. As an entrepreneur, as an owner, we care number 1 about making more money.
Yep.
We care number 2 about saving more money.
Yep.
We care number 3, if we have staff, we make them more productive. And lastly, we care about staying compliant so we don't get in trouble.
Right.
In that order, in that priority order. So if we start at the top, one way that we can make more money, I think we covered that with the gold. If we go to the second point, one way that we can save more money. Did we exhaust that, Bill, or do you want to speak more on that?
So there's ways that you can save money besides cutting expenses. There's also the biggest way to save money is to operate under a budget that you can actually adhere to. But my favorite in all of this, when it comes to game planning for the future, is to agree upon what your 1, 3, and 5 year goals are, and to have yourself like a coccyx in a rowboat, and everybody rowing in the same direction. That your employees, you, upper management are all rowing in the same direction. If it's just you and you're a one arm paper hanger, it's different. But getting your thoughts in writing in front of you on a board, in a on your mirror when you wake up, in lipstick or in little notes, so you know what your focus is for that day / week / month. And I would divide your goals into 13 4-week increments. Okay. And so, because if you do the math, it's 52 weeks. But if you do it and you have a bad month, it's just one bad month out of 13, and you can make up for it. And then your quarterly goals are true quarters, right? Which again is just a 3-month period, but you have 13. So you allow yourself 1 month of bad and 1 month of excellence, and the rest of the time you should be steady as she goes. So I don't want to get into the more details than that because every industry is different. But I would say the key for business owners is less time networking and more time meeting people, meeting people with a purpose. And when you meet people with a purpose, that agenda should be established. If whether it's a 15-minute meeting or a 30-minute meeting, you set that agenda up so that it's 7 minutes on them, 7 minutes on you, 1 minute on deciding if you guys can collaborate. And if you're referral partners or if you swim in the same pond, can work together so that you can help each other, give each other real leads that lead to real business that lead to future growth. And it's okay if there isn't an opportunity for you to collaborate immediately. If you like the person, you meet with them again. It's also okay that if you don't like the person, that there's no camaraderie, or you're not getting along, you don't have to force yourself to deal with them, because that brings angst. So make sure that you're congruent in your thoughts, and you've earned the right as a business owner to work with other people that you like, right? So, you know, my instructions for myself personally is no more than 3 networking meetings a week. That's it. Anything more than that, you're taking away from your business.
Bill, with that being said, if you don't mind, I have a question because I get approached a lot. How do you evaluate networking groups, right? There's a lot of them out there. Some are paid, some are free. They can be a time waster or a time gainer. And are they for all industries?
So for your specific industry,
Yeah, I want to make this general, but yeah, I'm happy.
yeah, I'm going to answer your
yeah,
question for your specific one, right? I would ask if I could attend the first meeting or two for free, and then ask to interact with those people, because there's a lot of people in your senior care industry that are talkers but not doers, meaning that there are opportunities for you to know who is going to refer you clients, and where the referrals are going to come from, right? And most of the people that are in senior care workshops or groups really don't refer you leads. They want to sell you stuff. They want to sell you, hearing aids and bed mats and adult daycare diapers, and you end up getting inundated with all these appointments where you're not making money, you're spending money or wasting your time. So I think I've answered your question about, certain groups, right? And that now on other groups, it might be necessary to expand that if your clientele comes from the networking, but your ask should be finite, meaning if you excel, I'll make this simple. I don't know if Corey's there. Corey works for Legal Shield. So Legal Shield is a company that offers help in the world of legal services. So if a person decides whether they want to pay a $2,500 down payment to an attorney or have someone on call, Legal Shield could cost you as little as $39 a month, and then 25% of a bill to have attorney help, right? And that's just one service that they have. So it offers you an alternative to save money on legal costs, right? So
100%, right. So if somebody was said, oh, I have to update this or that, we don't have a lot of money to spend. Oh, I know Corey, he's with Legal Shield.
Right.
Talk to him.
Correct.
Boom. Yep.
So that's one way, right? And now another thing to keep in mind is that everybody has their strengths, right? So and there's Corey. So everybody has their strengths when it comes to those things, right? So and so if someone was looking to develop a relationship with Corey, and they wanted to have a meeting with him and interact, and they would say, hey, I have a friend who's looking to get some help in this area, where they just had their credit cards hacked. Do you have a system for protecting them from losing their identity, or et cetera, et cetera? He can help you inexpensively, right? And that's a benefit of knowing Corey, right? So
exactly, or to get your will done, or to help grow a
Right.
business, and tons upon tons of stuff too. So yeah.
Yep. So again, he wasn't expecting me to call him out and that, but I saw his friendly face there, and he was a good guy. So okay, so Christina, how are you today? You're on mute.
I'm sleepy, but I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay.
I do have a question about 1099. So I'm trying to decide if I should go employee or 1099 in the future.
Mhm.
Is that something that we talk about here?
Yeah, we could talk about it on the basics here.
Right.
So how many people do you have?
So I have nobody, but I support a dreamer who has people that she's paying under the table, and I don't like that. So
Okay.
I would like to absorb them. They create their own schedules, they have their own equipment, all of that. It just falls under her brand.
Okay. So there's advantages and disadvantages of a 1099. Okay. So I'm going to give you the advantages of a 1099 employee. Okay. Um, you get to write it off on business as a direct expense, and it shows where your money's going. Okay. B, you don't have to supply them with insurance, but you should supply them with an opportunity or a recommendation to get insurance. Okay. It's just good practice. C, that when you have that opportunity to talk to them and ask them what are their concerns, what are their goals, you want to see that their goals and everything align with yours. One advantage is that if someone's a great performer, but they are not a rule follower, you have to consider that they're representing you when they're out there as a 1099. So you want to make sure that everyone is in alignment with your goals. But it's also going to help you keep your expenses down, because when you don't have payroll taxes and you have 1099, it saves anywhere from 5 to 20% over and above the actual costs, because you have to have someone run the payroll, then you have to have the deductions for FICA and unemployment and all the other government deductions. So they're all the extra costs that are associated with payroll. Okay. And then we could sit down privately and run through the pros and cons of your specific industry uh, so that we know what's best for you. And at the same time, discuss your end game, what you're trying to accomplish. Make sure that both the dreamer and you are aligned with your end game goals. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Natan's smiling over there.
I think it's beautiful. That's Bill being Bill. And that's the great part, that when he gets on and he goes in and he can kind of help, it's wonderful. Angela Norris, if you have to boogie, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And that's fair. If anyone else needs to, get a bio break, that's okay. We'll pause for a sandwich, but I think we've
Yep.
got some good momentum going, and we should probably keep going for another 10, 15 minutes or so. We can
Okay.
always wrap up if you need.
So, in all fairness to the people that have shown up, you know, John is a repeat returnee, um, and he does merchant services, which people don't understand what that is. It's in essence, John brings personalized service to your credit card taking machine, but he's not going to be the cheapest guy in the block, but he has the most experience, and his ideal, um, his ideal client versus what your business offers is might be at polar opposite ends, but he can help you with his experience in that, and then he also can lower your cost of hidden things, okay, which secret charges, things that you shouldn't be charged for. And in the end, it might be as little difference between getting his expertise as low as $30 to $50 a month, and if you divide that over a 4 week period, is it worth knowing him for $12 a week difference based on the sales volume? The answer is always a resounding yes, because he's seen it all, and he can help you with those things. Um, we have uh, others that are online that can to do. I guess Angel has left. Yeah. Okay. So I know Angela as well, and she brings a lot to the table. Um, Very helpful, um, extremely focused on customer interaction. I would almost say borderline surprising how she helps people. she teaches companies how to do employee ownership. So when they exit, and that's why this is a good thing, because that's her specialty. Um, and employee ownership, and there's two ways of doing it. It's like a minimum of 8 employees to do one type of program, and then the one that's more government regulated. So that what happens is it's more than just profit sharing, that when you leave your business, instead of selling it for a higher rate of return, you get continued income and you get your salary, but because you're still part owner. So there's a lot of things she can discuss. So when I discuss exit strategies, I also have a friend of mine that I'm going to be doing a podcast with, who's an expert in exit strategies. And we're going to start doing a podcast together. It starts next month. So you may want to jump in on that. And he's helped businesses increase their bottom line profits tremendously. But his services aren't free. So that's it is what it is. But while we have the remaining people here, Christine, since you spoke up, why don't you tell everybody what you do, so that other people can get to know you?
Hey, I'm Christina Oyola. I own a business called That Day, and I help dreamers anywhere from age 6 to forever find a safe space in the market by bringing mental health into the conversation and also providing free and low-cost shelf space and future online space.
Okay, you're underselling yourself there. So go ahead. I want you to continue. Who do you really serve? Because it'll come out. Just let them see your heart, just a little bit, okay?
So I'm a disabled veteran who hasn't been able to be in the workforce for almost 10 years. I also have a mom who took her life to suicide. So mental health is very near and dear to my heart. I am chronically ill. So it takes everything for me to even touch my front door and leave the house on most days. So I'm here to help everybody that has a dream. And just like Bill, I had a family member with dementia and I was their caretaker. So caring for people and putting people, their feelings first and meeting them where they are is what I do best. So thank you.
Exactly. There you go. Don't be
Can
shy.
I put a little something special? Christina, this is a DM just for you. So in the wonderful world that I play in, one of my clients are a couple former veterans, one ex-Army, one ex-Navy, and we're putting together a Veterans Business Exchange Forum for them. Oh, you're on mute.
I realize that. So I am part of a Veteran Biz Connect. Are you in the Philly area or is it on the East Coast?
Oh, this is virtual.
Okay, because
Yeah, we got about 100 people
there's a
registered
gentleman
for an
working.
upcoming. Yeah, we
Okay.
got about 100 people registered for an upcoming event. They're looking to fill out 100 chapters by December, and there's no cost to the chapters. So if that's a possible chance to help you.
So Thomas Long, I just clicked on it. Thomas Long in the thing.
Yep.
I go to the networking event monthly with him, and I've met with him personally. So that's why I was
They're
like,
clients of mine. So now now we're putting on events for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I'm part of the things here because I'm in Bucks where he lives. So I'm literally his.
So register and he'll see your smiling face and we'll get to have a laugh. Awesome.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Hey, John. I did, yeah.
Yes.
You, John. I did brag on you a little bit earlier, but if you want to give your 2 cents about the difference that you make, because everybody knows what you do, but they don't know.
I mean, everyone knows what merchant service is, and the way that I differentiate myself from the billion other people that do what I do is twofold. One, I'm doing it 22 years now, where most of my competition is doing it a few months or less. In a few months, they'll be selling something different. I can at this point promise another 22, but at least another 5 or 10. Secondly, most of my competition sells strictly on price because all they have is a very basic one-dimensional merchant account, and anything you want after that, they're going to send you to a third-party vendor. Third-party vendor login, third-party vendor customer service, third-party vendor fees, and of course, when something goes down, third-party vendor finger pointing. We pretty much eliminate all of that with the MX, letter M, letter X merchant platform, which we call a unified commerce ecosystem. So any way you touch, move, or park money, we have a solution. So I know price is always a factor, but I try to avoid leading with it because I don't want to commoditize myself like my competition. But in the end, I'm usually more cost effective for your business. I'll just give you one quick example. Let's say I can match the rates you're charging with you're being charged with your current vendor, but I give you the app for free for your smartphone and tablet, and you have 10 trucks on the road costing you 20 bucks a month or $200. Well, me giving it to you free just saved you $200. Let's say you have 100,000 sitting in a checking account to pay bills earning 0.01% interest, and I introduce you to my Passport virtual bank with a money market earning 2.75% same day liquidity or 4.75 3-day liquidity. Now I'm making you couple $100 a month instead of you making pennies a month. So you combine those two, I'm making you basically a car payment a month just by matching your rates.
Yep.
My information's in the chat. You want to find out more what it means to you, your business, your colleagues, your referrals, by all means, I'm open for a one-on-one.
There you go. Seth,
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you.
tell us about what you do.
Basically, we keep seniors independent and safe in their homes, and we provide caregivers into the home.
Yes. Where?
Happy, healthy home. I serve the state of New Jersey in Essex County, which is the real northern New Jersey, not too north. And yeah, so I've been doing this for 6 years. Been through it personally, so I understand what people are looking for, what we're trying to accomplish. I am part of a larger franchise system. So yes, I'm a local owner with a big brand behind me, which has been great for support and able to, align my values with the values of that company and how we do things and what we do. So what we say, what we're going to do is what we do. And I'm pretty realistic with our clients, managing expectations, having them understand, but also letting them know we're here to help. So like after this meeting, I'm on my way to a hospital to go visit a client just to see what's going on and make sure that they're getting what they need from the hospital. And we don't charge for that.
Seth, that was
Yes.
beautiful, man. I
Yes.
appreciate that. Let me ask
So
you,
Seth-
because sorry?
I was going to ask, well, you go with your question and I'll follow up.
So we do serve
I'm sure you
veterans,
got a
by the way.
completely different
Yeah.
question. No, it's because of what you do. I have a client that has a healthcare physical location. She's over in Colorado, and she came from Chicago. And so her location, she does care navigators, caregivers, elder works. We create events that target hospital administrators. Her event is called SDOH Blueprint. And I'm like, I had to Google the heck out of that because I don't know what that is. You guys are so techy with your words. But the point is that we can blow a dog whistle to that target audience. It's a very unique and special type of thing where we can have a roundtable discussion like this to see who can get more interest. So as an awareness campaign, reach out to me, have my contact in the chat.
No, I definitely will. That's interesting. I mean, the hospitals are interesting. I mean, what I found is success via grassroots, being I live in my community, my office is in my community. Unfortunately, we only have 2 hospital systems, and there's probably in a 10-mile radius, I got 60 home care agencies around me. But again, I'm not worried about them. I know what we do, how we do it, and why we do it, and that's how we've been successful. So, but I do want to take a look at that. That's interesting. Thank you.
So Seth, why don't you tell people the importance of continuity, meaning not breaking up the day into 2 hours here and 2 hours later, but like a 5-hour shift, and why that's way more important to do a 5 to an 8 hour shift than just 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night and leaving the senior by themselves.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for it is what I try to do first, and I'll answer the question then directly with two sides of it. One is we try to look not just as why you're calling and what's going on with mom, dad, grandpa. What's your world look like? So if I was talking to Faye, Marie, who's been a little quiet, not to pick on you, but I would ask who lives in the house? What's the day-to-day look like? What's going on? So I have that overview understanding, and then try to make some recommendations. So 2 hours could work for someone, but I might say, well, you're working all day. Mom's got dementia or this problem or that problem. Who's watching? Well, nothing's going to happen. Well, in my experience, we've heard that a lot, and then something does happen, right? So the continuity of care hopefully keeps someone independent and safe. And I try to explain to people we're not there to do things for them. We're there to provide assistance, non-medical assistance, whether it's personal care, light housekeeping, companionship, going to the mall, playing a little golf, whatever that may look like. So it's the safety factor, and to avoid a hospital stay within leads into a rehab stay and could lead to other things. So not to paint that worst scenario picture, but have people understand what they might be missing and what they're not thinking about, and provide that education. The negative and the reality to that is it's very hard to get somebody on an hourly employee to have them work for 2 hours and then find someone later on. So if your expectation is to have that consistent caregiver, I can try to give you those 2 hours, and I understand it's expensive and all those things. However, this is the reality in the world that I'm trying to manage for you. And I can't control that. So if somebody doesn't want to work for me, I can't force them to come to your home, even though they're our employee. But I try not to get too technical into that, because they're really calling me because that's my job. I'm the manager, the orchestrator, not me personally, but my awesome team. So we try to just explain. And my biggest thing is managing expectations. What are you looking from us? And here's some suggestions on other ways to look at it. Some people want to take it, some people don't, but we can only offer. Does that answer your question, Bill?
Well, I did that more for the benefit of others because
no, but
so it's important. So I appreciate you participating in What's Your Line, and I want to get people spotlighted, because it's not all about exit strategies and life in general, but for everyone here, if you're not on my calendar sometime in May, please get on my calendar for May so we can focus more on you and about you. John, we haven't done a one-on-one in a little bit, so even if you could square away some time next week for 15 minutes for me, I'd appreciate it. And then
is your calendar link in the chat, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill and mine we're up at the top. Yep.
Yep. And again, this is about you guys. And what I enjoy doing here is to just allowing people the opportunity to just get some thought process going, and then we could drill down in a one-on-one, but also by hearing other people's questions, you're not alone. So it's kind of exciting in that aspect. So any closing thoughts from you, Natan, before we
I think it was very cool that we went in such a complete full circle, that I wanted to get everyone to go around, and I know we only got a couple people left. So Christina, Seth, John, if you guys want to take 30 seconds, give us a wonderful sound bite. You spent an hour of your time with us. You're wonderful, powerful, important people. If this was worth it for you, if you felt like you got something out of it, if you think it was worthwhile, you'll come back, you'll bring a friend. The topics change, the people change. I would love that as a quick little video shout out. We'll blast that out to the interwebs and tag you so we can make sure some extra eyes can come follow you as well. Would anyone like to say a couple words? Awesome. Thank you. Go for it. Oh, you're on mute them, Christina. Seth, now you guys are all fighting for it.
Okay, I'll go. Okay. No, I think it reminds you like sometimes what you need to focus on in your business, other ways to look at things. And I think it always is that starter to say, oh, wait, I'm not thinking like that. And that's why you kind of need someone to kind of make you feel uncomfortable, answer weird questions, do something that you normally don't do, or that you try to do and then you go back to your bad habits again. So I got out of it that, this was a little inspiring for me. And I think it was great to hear Christina and John and some of the other people that came on to hear what they do. And it's like, oh, maybe that is something I need to look at my business. It's always a good reminder of things that we have to review and not just accept the norm, but also looking at it, as we all own our own businesses, what are we really doing? What are we trying to get out of it? Because we do get stuck in the day-to-day. So I think that's important. So thank you, Bill. Thank you, Natan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Kurt joined late. Kurt's a friend of mine.
Me too.
Yep. Kurt, do you want to just introduce yourself in this forum if you're able to jump on?
Sure. Thank you. I'm Kurt Roska from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And yeah, Bill and I know each other from Helpopedia, helping youth, high schoolers, college students, so forth, and parents and the families. So great to see you here. A big fan of Natan as well, and John. And so, yeah, I know a few of you in here. So, yeah, it's great to be here. I have an event coming up in a few minutes, but wanted to catch what the culmination of this was. Happy to be here.
Well, good. Why don't you tell them what you do briefly, and those who don't know you?
I have podcasts. So if you want the value that you bring to the table and the services you provide, products, your company, organization, anything like that, you can come on our live stream, a free complimentary opportunity to be interviewed. And it's an exercise of you helping me make sure that everybody that I know knows you. How about that? Back to you.
Like that.
Good. So,
Well,
is there, if we're all good to go, I wish blessings to all. Thanks for showing up. We do this on a monthly basis. We would love to have you come back and bring a friend next time, because the more that are there, the more that we can share, right? And
Amen.
so I appreciate everyone. Again, jump on the calendar. Those who did, thank you. And I can't wait till we do it again. Have a good rest of the week.